to help us help others. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for your generosity. And I am pleased to introduce Roybal. She is the Development Director of the Catholic Community Services here in Eugene. And maybe it's Eugene Springfield, but maybe you're going to tell us more, right, Stephanie?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me today, and thanks to Sid Voorhees who set this up. He and Sue had worked out that Sue Payman, our executive director, would speak, but she was not able to make it today. So thank you for having me. I hope you can settle for me. But just before I talk, I just want to thank the Lions Club for your past support. In 2017, we received donations of glasses from all of you. And I know that as individuals, you have either supported us or supported our partner agencies. And so we all work together. It's a great community that we have. I'm going to let you know that I have my notes here underneath the camera. So if you wave your hand to ask something, I'm going to have to kind of look. So is it safe to say that people don't use the chat feature in Zoom? I'm guessing not. Yeah, I'm guessing not.
No, would you like people to save their questions in chat?
Well, I was going to play a little video and I was going to do a little exercise if you're comfortable doing this, but we can do it verbally if you prefer. I was going to play a little video and have you type in the chat things that you know about Catholic Community Services, just to see how much you all know. If you're comfortable doing that, you can open up chat and type that in, or you can say something. But I wanted to show you this little video first. It's a song and a slideshow that just shows different programs and services that we have. So I'm going to start with that and share my screen. Let's see if I have better success with this. Host disabled participant screen sharing. So give me
here, I've got it.
Yeah.
I've got to assign you as a host. There we go.
Okay. Okay, sorry, I'll try this again. All right, here it comes. I hope it's not loud. All right. So I invite you, we don't need to use the chat feature, but if you just want to share what you already know about Catholic Community Services, I always like to know what's out there and what people know. So feel free to share what you know about us. I see somebody wrote in chat about helping with utility bills. Absolutely. You can say it on your camera too, if that's easier.
Yeah, one thing I would say is an event my family and I always went to that couldn't happen this year with the Irish Echo, doing beautiful concert for everybody and a lot of fun. They are doing a virtual event that runs through the 20th, so 3 more days of that. And all you have to do is go to ccslc.org and you'll find it.
Thank you for doing that commercial. I was actually going to mention it when you said there were so many Irish people. So I'll type that link in the chat too, that you can all visit.
Yeah, well, we know a lot of the people that are in the group, so
yeah,
we really miss it.
Yeah, it's a fun little 45-minute concert you can watch online.
Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah. What else do you know besides utility bills and a fun Irish Echo event?
I have the impression that it's been around for a long time.
Yes, since 1952 we have been around.
Clothing.
Clothing closet, yes, absolutely.
Oh,
And so
food bank.
groceries
Grocery,
were
yeah.
being collected to be handed out.
Yep, food pantries are a big part of our work, which I'll say a few things about for sure.
Do you do services or provide services for mental health counseling?
That's a great question. Directly, no, we don't have anyone on staff who is able to do that. But if there's ever a case where a caseworker is working with a family and they see that there's a need for that, they will point them in the direction to get that kind of help. But we ourselves do not provide that.
Thank you.
Good question, though. Well, I'm going to get going and feel free to chime in. If I don't see your hand waving, just tell me to stop talking because I get going. So, just to introduce myself real quickly, my name is Stephanie and I'm the development director here. I've been here since October of last year. And before that, I was actually working at Food for Lane County, one of our partners here in the community. And my background is actually in teaching and ministry. And so Catholic Community Services has been a great place for me to blend my background, recent work experience, and kind of putting it all together. And it seems to be a good fit. And I hope that I can serve the organization as much as it feels good to work here. In my short time here at CCS, I've learned that people know a little bit about what we do and are often surprised by how much we do. Especially when things are behind the scenes. And one of the ways that we try to educate people about what we do are through our Help and Hope tours. I'll say a little bit about that at the end, but if ever you want to learn more about what we do, we have some opportunities for you to join us either virtually or when our doors reopen, do a live tour, but I'll say a little bit more about that later. I'm going to read our mission statement to you. And I'm going to read our mission statement to you. It says, responding to Christ's message to love our neighbors as ourselves, Catholic Community Services offers immediate help by providing food and other assistance to anyone in need and seeks to instill hope by helping Lane County families take positive steps to move out of poverty. It's a pretty long mission statement. So I'm going to break that down into 3 things. The first is that we are faith-based. Our Catholic faith compels us to serve people in need, and we often refer to the words and the works of Saint Teresa of Calcutta as our example. We don't place any expectations on people. We serve people of all beliefs, all backgrounds, and we don't place any kind of expectation in return for help. One doesn't have to be Catholic to get help, nor does one have to be Catholic to work here. So we help anyone who comes to our doors. A second aspect of our mission is that we offer immediate help. And you've already mentioned food pantries and clothing room. Our food pantries are in 2 locations, Eugene and Springfield, and the majority of our food does come from Food for Lane County. They are the regional food bank, and they supply pantries all over Lane County. Sometimes people will hold food drives directly for us, and we'll accept that. During COVID, we haven't been able to, but we have been able to distribute food 3 days a week. Clients have been lining up outside and getting a pre-made bag, similar to what some of you were talking about earlier with Food for Lane County, a pre-made bag, and they get that at a walk-up window or a drive-up door. Unfortunately, during COVID, we've had to close our clothing room, partly because we haven't been able to have people in the building to accept donations, and partly because we've been remodeling our clothing room. When we reopen, we will have a nice remodeled clothing room that'll be more welcoming and safer for our clients to come and get clothing items. And we hope to start off with new and gently used items like socks and underwear and t-shirts. And so throughout the year, people will often hold clothing drives to help support the clothing room. A couple of other immediate help items that we offer are hygiene products. A lot of times when people come to our pantries, we find that they need something basic like shampoo or toilet paper or razor blades or diapers. And so a lot of times hygiene products are a pretty popular commodity. And once a year, we hold a squeaky clean hygiene drive every summer to help stock that. We also provide rental and energy assistance. Many people are just one paycheck away, or one missed bill away, or one missed rent payment away from being in trouble. And sometimes those financial situations can spiral. And so rental assistance and energy assistance are 2 ways that we help our clients stay out of that spiral that can happen. One of the things that we take pride in is that we do our best to keep people from becoming homeless, because we have no problem helping people who are homeless, but we'd rather help them not be homeless in the first place. So anything we can do to help with rent or energy or water bills, we have a great partnership with eWeb and Sub and other organizations that help make that happen. I'm going to take a breath before I get to part 3. Are there any questions so far about immediate help? Okay.
Stephanie?
Yeah.
I just put it in the chat, but maybe you can let us know when that hygiene day is going to be happening or drive is going to be happening, because that's something that members of our club might be interested in.
I will.
Donating things for.
I will. I'll be in touch about that as soon as we.
So the individual, you want the individual soaps and the individual shampoos and things, right?
Yeah, I mean, once the drive itself probably won't be until June or July, and we'll be particular about that. But a lot of times travel size is great for homeless people, but for people who live in homes and need help, full size is great too. So yeah, I'll definitely keep in touch when we get close to that. Yeah, do you have a question?
Yeah, Stephanie, I have a question because I have a lot of clothes. Of course, we cannot use it in our club as far as, put it on, to give out and so on. But if you give me your phone number either to Susan or to me, and I contact you because I have some excellent clothes and brand new clothes, and this might help you. I would love to do that.
Great. I'll make sure I share my information. And then when we're ready,
Okay.
yeah, thank you so much. I see another, okay, I thought I saw a hand. So the third part of our mission is helping families to move out of poverty. So we could definitely give them those immediate items like food or clothing or rental assistance, but that's only going to help in the short term. One of the things that we are really proud of is the work that our caseworkers do. And our caseworkers provide what we call wraparound service to a person. So wrapping, if you think that, wrapping around a whole person and taking care of their needs. And instead of listing all those things, I'd like to tell you 2 stories. And these stories will hopefully kind of paint a picture of how our caseworkers try to address the whole person and the whole family. The first story is Carla, and I've made up her name to protect her anonymity. And Carla needed to escape domestic violence in her home. She packed what she could. She grabbed her 11-year-old daughter, and she basically just ran. She had very little, and she had a few friends where she could stay on their couch or stay in their room for a night. But getting meals and getting to pantries and getting help was something that she never had to do before. She had been a stay-at-home mom, and she had all the answers and solved everything. And now all of a sudden she was on her own and couldn't get the help that she needed. Carla and her daughter were homeless. And this all happened at the beginning of the COVID pandemic. She was able to get a motel room for a month through Victim Services, and she was really grateful for that. While she had that month in the motel, she was able to get her hands on an old camper and made arrangements to stay on her friend's property until she could get back on her feet and start looking for work. And this is when she reached out to Catholic Community Services. She had very little work experience because she had been a stay-at-home mom. She had a young daughter. She was scared, and she didn't feel like she could share her name with a whole lot of people because she was fearful of the situation she left at home. When she found out about Catholic Community Services, she contacted us to get help. And the very first thing that she received was just general emotional support from our caseworkers. They told her it was going to be okay, that we're here to help, that you're safe. And Carla said that that made all the difference to her, knowing that somebody cared about her. She had been in situations where she received things from people, but she hadn't really been cared for, and she really appreciated that. She was shown how to fill out paperwork. She was helped in searching for jobs. She was given school supplies for her daughter. She even got a bike and a helmet for her daughter at Christmas time. And Carla said not only did she get help finding those things, but the emotional support she received empowered her and helped her understand she would get out of her situation someday. She said she felt like she was talking to a loving, caring friend. And her caseworker walked her through every process needed to get her housed, to get her into a job, and to help her live again. And last I heard, Carla had a big job interview at a local company and was very excited, and she hopes to help others in her situation when she's able to do so. Another quick story is actually about a family that I met last fall. And if you receive our print newsletter, you have seen their story already. Renee, Chris, and their daughter were also homeless. And they had been able to find another old camper to stay until they could find housing. And they had to move around a lot. They couldn't stay in one campground because the age of their camper wasn't allowed on the campgrounds. And there were also some parts of the father's history that made it so he couldn't stay in any one place for very long. So finding a safe place for their daughter to stay at night was a challenge. They were able to stay at our parking lot and able to get access to services from our G Street Oasis program, which is a day program for homeless. They were able to get showers. They were able to do laundry. They were able to take a break, cook a meal, and slow down a little bit to try to look for work and get involved in school again. Over time, they were connected with a caseworker, and the caseworker learned that they were having trouble keeping their daughter in school because it was COVID and it had to be distance learning. Because they were in a camper, they didn't have electricity to keep their iPad charged for the daughter to do her schoolwork and to connect to classrooms. And so through the generosity of a donor, we were able to provide a solar powered generator for their camper so that they could keep their iPads charged to go to school. And that's something that really touched me because I thought, I take computers for granted. I have a phone, I have an iPad, I have a computer, and I think nothing of Wi-Fi and electricity. But for them, that was very much needed in order to go back to school and allow their daughter to grow and be educated and hopefully move beyond what she was being raised, the environment she was being raised in. In addition to that, mom was able to go back to school. And so now mom and daughter are both going back to school, and they have, I don't know the end of their story, but I do know that they're very happy and they're very grateful for the help that they received. Our caseworkers help remove barriers that people face getting out of poverty, and they bend over backwards to really help people stay in their homes or to help them find new homes. So enough of my talking again. I would like to open it up for just any reflection or question that you may have about our work that we do, or how you can help.
How many caseworkers do you have?
Good question. We have 8, I believe. 8.
And are they all still all in concentrating Eugene itself, or they're going out, spread out to other places?
The majority of them are in Springfield. The people who work at our Eugene location focus mainly on food and rental and energy assistance, where the people in Springfield focus on case management.
Thank you. I'd like to ask your opinion on something.
Sure.
Given your background. What do you think is the long-term solution to the homeless problem that just seems to keep getting worse?
My short answer is I don't know. There are so many factors that contribute to the situation here. And we could probably go at length about one piece of each. You know, it's an intricate puzzle. There's housing, there's jobs, there's addictions, there's personal choices, there's all of these things. And we could argue any one of those pieces of the puzzle for hours. And that's how complex it is. But what I can say is that I can't solve the whole problem, but I can at least work to help one person find something better. There will always be people who choose to live in a tent versus get help, but they are not the majority. The majority of people, we don't even know what they're struggling with. We wouldn't know it seeing them walk down the street that they need help. So for the people who ask, I'm glad we're here, but I don't have an answer to that complex question. I know what we can do to help, but sorry. Do you have one?
Stephanie, it sounds like your caseworkers have a lot of resources that they tap into. How many community partners are there with Catholic Community Services?
A lot. There are organizations through the city of Springfield, through Springfield school system, 4J. There are various legal partners we have. There are different partners we have that reach out to the Latinx community. There are a lot. Just with G Street Oasis alone, there are probably 20 partners that help make that program a success. But when I also say partners, I also refer to people like yourselves that want to help. There are official partners that help that we refer our clients to, and then there are just the partners who help. So I don't have a list in front of me, but I would say it's quite long. We work a lot through DHS, through Lane County Government Services. Yeah, there's a lot. Sorry, that wasn't a very definitive answer. Yeah.
Yeah, do you have any idea of what percentage of an increase you've had in all the services you've had to do with the advent of COVID and all the complications it's given?
The number of people that come to the food pantry, there was a spike in the beginning, but it actually went down a little bit because there was so much funding available through SNAP, through food stamps, through various governmental support systems, that people didn't actually need to ask for food as much, which was interesting. We found that with Oasis, the homeless families that came for help, because of COVID, they were fearful of being around other families. And so they found someone to stay with during quarantine. So it's hard to tell. We actually saw more of an increase in rental assistance and energy assistance due to COVID because of job losses.
Yeah.
But I don't have an exact percentage.
No, I'm just curious, if you had any idea what increased. I'm surprised that the food decreased. That's interesting.
We were too, because when this pandemic started, I was actually over at Food for Lane County, and they had to create pop-up pantries because of the demand. So another aspect of seeing our pantry decrease may have something to do with more availability of food from other organizations. So we were really surprised by that.
I have a question.
Mhm.
Do you refer anyone to our sight and hearing? Because that's something that we would really appreciate. That's what we're there for and are here for. And if you want information on that, just ask Lions Susan, because she can give that to you.
Great, thank you. I will make sure our caseworkers know about that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Great.
Good idea.
Do you have any language problems?
Do we have language problems?
Language problem with these people who come to you, try to help them.
One of the programs that I forgot to mention is our refugee and immigration services. And we are finding that the majority of people who seek help speak Spanish, but there's actually a population that speak the Mam language. That's where we have a little bit of problem because we don't have a lot of translators for that. But we have several people on staff who are bilingual with Spanish, so we're able to communicate with most of our clients.
Thank you.
Great.
Are there any other questions? Wow, thank you so much, Stephanie. This was very informative.
Sure, my pleasure. And I will put in the chat some information if you'd like to see the Irish Echo concert. And if ever you want to come to a Help and Hope Hour, these are 1-hour tours. We tell stories. We don't ask you for money. We don't ask you for volunteering. We just simply share stories from our clients and our staff and our volunteers to just help paint a picture of our work. So I'll put those links in the chat, and I'll definitely be in touch about the different questions that you had.
Thank you. And if it's all right with you, I'm recording your presentation so that we can share that with the rest of our Lions, if that's okay with you.
It's okay with me if you don't mind that I couldn't answer every question. But I really appreciate you having me.
I think we all would have been a little surprised if you'd been able to answer all of that. We'd probably be solving the problems of the world.
Well, I've only been here since October, so let's see if I know some more in a few months.
Thank you again.
Yes, thank you.
So we'll call the meeting adjourned. People can stay and visit.
And I'm putting those
Thank
in the chat here now.
Oh, okay, great. I'll get those out to everybody.
Hi and goodbye to Jeff.
Yeah, Jeff was very quiet today.
Yeah.
I was muted.
I'm gonna log off as well.
And he's no longer in Hawaii, so he's,
He's got his jacket on.
Just dealing with my depression.
Oh,
Ed, I will be talking to you. Thank you very much for sending me the emails. Ed, can you hear me? Huh?
good to, oh, she's
Good to
already
see-
gone. Oh, no, it's good, really good seeing you.
Rosie.
Yeah,
Thank
we're
you.
so happy to see you.
I know. I'll try to join all the time I can.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm glad we got the communique out to you about it.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for
Yeah.
everyone who helped get Rosie on.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
bye-bye.